Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Be Yourself Life Sciences. Today I come up with a topic with Parkinson's disease. Actually, I got a news few days before back that Russian President Putin is fear of this disease, that he may be suffering from this disease. Though till now there is no diagnostic evidence that he is actually suffering from this disease or not, but some of the symptoms related to this disease is been reflected in him. So I thought to make you know what exactly this disease is, what are the clinical manifestation or the symptoms of of this disease, and why actually he is afraid of this disease. Is it really very panic to have Parkinson's disease in someone's life, and what are the life expectancy if someone is suffering from Parkinson's disease? And the most important part is that is there any treatment now for the Parkinson's disease? So let's see what actually it is. The major concern about Parkinson's disease is that from 1990s to 2016 it is continuously increasing in the populations. By 2016 it was seen that the cases reached 2.4 times more as compared to the cases in 1990s. And in a recent report it was said that in US itself only about 9,30,000 of the people are suffering from this disease. So what actually happens in this disease, and how we can find out that this disease symptom is appearing in our body? So first, how we can diagnose this? So this disease is diagnosed with the help of historical examination. Is there anyone who was suffering from this disease in my family history? And your physical examination and neurological examinations are the basic criteria where we can diagnose that someone is suffering from Parkinson's disease. So if we talk about the physical examination, so generally this disease appears in the old age person, generally ranging between above 80 years of age. 85 to 89 persons are more prone to be affected of this disease. So they have stooped posture, and this stooping posture or the bending of the posture lead to the forward tilting of the trunk. Second thing is that they lost the facial expression. That is scientifically, in scientific term, we call that of loss of facial expression as the hypomania. And suppose if I want to tell myself something, and if I'm not able to express myself, I'm not able to smile, then they somewhere reflect the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. Another thing is that the limb movement, our limb movement or the elbow or knees do not have that much of flexibility. Our body got rigid on that time. We do not have that much freely movement in our body, so this leads to the slow movement of a person. Further, the most common is the tremor or the shaking of your hand while talking, especially the rest tremor is there, which means when we are in the rest stage, our hand keeps on shivering like symptoms. It gives continuous shaking like structure. But when you stretch your arms, when you are functioning something, on that time, these types of symptoms generally does not been analyzed. Okay. And I actually was, when finding out exactly about this disease, I found a review paper on it, and they have very nicely summarized this the symptoms on in this in a tabular form. So I have put that similar table here, and I will explain on this basis that how we can say that one person is suffering from, how we can diagnose that one person is suffering from Parkinson's disease. So as I told that one will be the prodromal period where you will be having a rapid eye movement while sleeping. Like when we go for the sleep, on that time what happens, we feel that our eyes are open, but we are in the deep dream. We dream something which make us unconsciousness, or it which make us much panic about that dream. Another is the autonomic symptoms like constipation, orthostatic hypertension, and hyposomia. Hyposomia are the major the prodromal predict where we have just entered into the disease. And if we will talk about the family history, because the diagnostic process, the first factor was we examine the historical prospect, that whether in the history anyone was suffering from the disease or not. So this was also one of the concerns. So we always see whether is there anyone of first relatives who are suffering from Parkinson's disease or not, if there are any mutations in the family history or not. So we examine that. Then there come the physical examinations, which include the bradykinesis, which I told that we slow in our movement. So this bradykinesis scientifically is the term given when we slow in the movement, when our brain does not respond as fast as our body want to respond us. That is known as bradykinesia. Then come the rigidity and or tremor, which I said, shaking of your hand. Then it may include the hypophonia, microglia, decrease in arm swing, which we have seen in the previous slide. So all these were the physical examinations of that. And depending on that, if someone is, because this not always mean that if you are suffering from such types of symptoms you will be surely suffering from Parkinson's disease. So as Parkinson's disease is actually trigger the dopamine nervous system, so there is a confirmatory test which is known as dopamine transporter single photon transmission computed tomography imaging finding. So how it looks like, actually it look like something this. So in healthy person, if you will see this region, this red region is there, this red signal is are there, which says that the dopamine signaling is working properly there. But before, when we are about to suffer from this disease, on that time what actually happens, these red signals or the decreasing of the dopamine signaling molecules will be reflected here, and this leads to the shortening of the area of the red shaded region in under the photon emission computer tomography. And in very advanced stage of the disease we will find that this dopamine signaling completely devoids. So this red region almost is negligible in this graph. Actually, why these types of images can be analyzed under the photon tomography? Because this disease is particularly associated with the death of the dopaminergic neurons, and in the specific region of the brain known as substantia nigra. So this is the substantia nigra region of the brain. And what we will see here, actually what happens in substantia nigra, there is the deposition of the Lewy body, which is the collection of which consists of the synuclein protein in aggregations, and this leads to some of the neurological symptoms in our body. So if we will talk about the symptoms or the clinical manifestation, that it completely comes because it targets the brain region of our brain. So what happens, actually the hypothesis as given by the Brack hypothesis, appearance of the symptoms divided into different stages. So in 1 and 2 stages of in fact of this pathogenicity of Parkinson's disease, first is affect the medulla region. So we can see here the medulla region is here shown by this red highlight, and the olfactory nerves. So because it target in first stage, it target the medulla and olfactory nerves. That's why we basically have the symptoms of rapid eye movement, sleep behavior, and we lost the smell because it is affecting the olfactory bulbs, and this olfactory bulb is associated with the smelling power of a human being. Second is in the next 3 and 4 stages we basically develop the motor symptoms, because it basically trigger the middle part of the brain and also the forebrain or the basal part of the forebrain. So this, in this picture I can show you, these regions basically represents the basal forebrain regions. And further in the advanced stage, this finally leads to the hallucination and cognitive impairment. So cognitive impairment, if we talk about for the layman people, then it lead to some confusion, like a statement we cannot respond to any of the statement which we hear, We also sometimes feel difficulty to recognize some of the even very close friends faces also, even your close relatives also we don't able to recognize their faces. So because this final in advanced stages, it basically affect this cerebral cortex regions. So as we can see that Parkinson's disease basically target our brain region, and thereby it is associated with number of the symptoms. So on the basis of this, we can also categorize the symptoms as shown in the Parkinson's disease as a motor symptoms and non-motor. Non-motor include which are not associated with our motility or movement, like olfactory lobes in the non-motor region. So olfactory lobes was, if it will be affecting that region, we will lose the smell. It is not associated with our movement. Sleep dysfunctions as will be further examined by a technique known as polysomnography. So this is a technique which actually examine that what happens when we are sleeping. In that they examine your heartbeat, your peaks or electrical signaling inside our body, and after that it gives the confirmation that whether this sleep dysfunctioning is because of Parkinson's disease or not. Similarly, in the motor reasons, as we already discussed, that bradykinesis or the slow movement, rigidity, rest tremor, or posture instability will be there. Further, here in the non-motor region, there is a psychiatric disturbance. Obviously, when this will be affecting the whole part of the brain, then it will obviously it will affect our psychic response to the human, to others, and to ourselves also. We start hallucination, we start having a very confused behavior about ourselves and also for the another also. Cognitive impairment also includes such types of symptoms, including the confusion and hallucinations and all. So depending on the severity of these symptoms, it is basically classify the Parkinson's disease symptoms into three categories. And on the categorization of these three categories, like mild, motor, predominant and intermediate, and diffuse malignant condition, treatment is adopted. So here I basically focus on the treatment, because we generally got very panic when some disease enters in our body, that is there any treatment possible or not. So in the initial medical therapy, there is a medicine known as levodopa, and dopamine antagonist tablets can be used there, or chemicals can be used to minimize the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. And if only tremor will be there, or the shaking of hand or body will be there, then anticholinergic agents can be used to treat. But when these become more severe, that or it progress to the wearing of symptoms, then there are so many other medicines also which are prescribed. But along with this, they also follow the rehabilitation therapy, which include the exercise, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. Because in this condition also, as we have also the facial masking or the expressions less symptoms is there, we also suffer from difficulty in speaking or swallowing some food also. So it is a common rehabilitation therapy given in the more or wearing of symptoms when developed. But if still it persists and does not get treated, then other in the advanced stage we increase the dose of levodopa and other. So its treatment is there, it is possible there, but it is not like that I have presented that if you are having such types of symptoms you'll go and rush toward this medicine. It is not well prescribed also. Without prescription you will not get it. Better go to your physiotherapy and neuro doctors to get it well counseling with them. Because sometimes it happens that we also got very anxiety or also depressed, that we are suffering from such types of disease. But it is not like that. It need a simple socialism, and we need to interact with these patients properly. And talking finally about the life expectancy, so there is no hamper in life expectancy. So till now no data is there which can say that there is a death because of the Parkinson's disease. but these types of symptoms persist till the end of the life, like confusion or depression like symptoms persist in them, but they usually have the normal life expectancy as like that of the other common people. So hope you like this video. So don't forget to subscribe and share my channel. I will be coming with such types of topic, more such types of topics, some research based, some your syllabus based, and do share this information with your friends so